What if I told you that one of the most important ingredients in your kitchen is something you almost always throw away? It sits quietly in your pot while your food cooks, and then right before serving, you take it out and toss it in the trash without a second thought. That ingredient is the bay leaf. It looks simple, dry, and almost useless, but it plays a powerful role in flavor that most people don't fully understand. So why do recipes include it? And why do we remove it before eating? And most importantly, are you actually using it the right way? Welcome to Consumer's Choice Top 5, where we break down everyday foods, uncover hidden truths, and help you make smarter choices. Today, we're taking a closer look at bay leaves, the secret ingredient you always throw away, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why they matter and how to get the most out of them. Before we dive in, take a moment to hit like if you enjoy learning simple kitchen secrets that can improve your cooking. Subscribe for more videos like this and drop a comment saying "I always throw it away" if you've ever wondered why bay leaves are even used in recipes. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a bay leaf? A bay leaf comes from the bay laurel tree, and it has been used in cooking for hundreds of years. When fresh, the leaves are green and slightly flexible, but most of the time, what you see in stores are dried bay leaves. These dried leaves have a subtle but complex aroma that can change the flavor of a dish over time. Here's the key thing to understand. Bay leaves are not meant to be eaten directly like most herbs. Instead, they slowly release flavor as they cook. This means that when you add a bay leaf to a soup, stew, or sauce, it works quietly in the background, adding depth and richness without being obvious. Now you might be wondering, if the flavor is so subtle, does it really make a difference? The answer is yes, and here's why. Think about building flavor like building layers. Some ingredients are strong and noticeable right away, like garlic or onions. Others, like bay leaves, are more subtle, but help tie everything together. Without them, the dish might still taste good, but it can feel like something is missing. Imagine making a pot of soup without salt. It might still have all the ingredients, but it won't taste complete. Bay leaves work in a similar way, not by overpowering the dish, but by enhancing the overall flavor. Let's talk about how bay leaves actually work. When you add a bay leaf to a hot liquid, like broth or sauce, the heat helps release its essential oils. These oils spread throughout the dish, blending with other ingredients and creating a more balanced flavor. But this process takes time, which is why bay leaves are usually used in slow-cooked recipes. For example, if you add a bay leaf to a soup that cooks for just a few minutes, you probably won't notice much difference. But if that same soup simmers for an hour or more, the bay leaf has time to do its job, and the flavor becomes more noticeable. Here's a quick question for you. Have you ever made a recipe both with and without a bay leaf and noticed a difference? If yes, type yes in the comments. If not, type no, and maybe it's time to try a side-by-side test. Now let's address something important. Why do recipes tell you to remove the bay leaf before serving? If it adds flavor, why not just leave it in? The answer is simple. Bay leaves are tough and have a sharp texture. They do not soften much during cooking, and if you try to eat one, it can be unpleasant and even slightly dangerous because of its rigid edges. So the bay leaf is meant to flavor the dish, not to be eaten. Think of it like a tea bag. You steep it in hot water to extract the flavor, and then you remove it before drinking. Another common question is whether you can crush or grind bay leaves to use them differently. While ground bay leaf does exist, it is not commonly used in everyday cooking because it can be difficult to control the flavor and may leave a gritty texture. Whole leaves are easier to remove and give a cleaner result. Now let's talk about fresh versus dried bay leaves. Many people assume that fresh is always better, but with bay leaves, it's a little different. Dried bay leaves often have a more concentrated flavor because the drying process reduces water content and intensifies the oils. Fresh bay leaves can be used, but they tend to have a milder taste. In most recipes, dried bay leaves are the standard choice. They are also easier to store and last longer, making them more convenient for everyday cooking. Speaking of storage, how you store your bay leaves can make a big difference in how effective they are. If you leave them exposed to air, heat, or light, they can lose their flavor over time. The best way to store bay leaves is in an airtight container in a cool, dark place. This helps preserve their oils and keeps them effective for longer. Let's do a quick recap so far. Bay leaves are used to add subtle depth and balance to dishes. They release flavor slowly during cooking, especially in soups, stews, and sauces. They are not meant to be eaten and should be removed before serving. And dried bay leaves are usually preferred because of their stronger flavor and longer shelf life. Now let's move into something many people don't realize. Bay leaves are not just about flavor. They also help round out the overall aroma of a dish. Aroma plays a huge role in how we experience food. Even before you take a bite, your brain is already forming an impression based on smell. Bay leaves contribute to that background aroma that makes a dish feel more complete. Think about walking into a kitchen where something is simmering on the stove. The smell is rich, warm, and inviting. Bay leaves are often part of that experience, even if you don't realize it. Here's another important point. Using too many bay leaves can actually have the opposite effect. Instead of enhancing the dish, it can make the flavor slightly bitter or overpowering. That's why most recipes call for just 1 or 2 leaves. It's a small amount, but it makes a big difference. Now let's talk about common mistakes people make with bay leaves. One mistake is adding them to dishes that don't cook long enough. As we mentioned earlier, bay leaves need time to release their flavor. Adding them to a quick stir-fry or a dish that cooks for only a few minutes won't give you much benefit. Another mistake is using very old bay leaves. Over time, they lose their potency. If your bay leaves have been sitting in your cabinet for years, they may not be doing much at all. A simple way to check is to crush a leaf slightly and smell it. If the aroma is weak, it's time to replace them. A third mistake is forgetting to remove the bay leaf before serving. This doesn't happen often, but when it does, it can surprise someone at the table. It's always a good idea to keep track of how many leaves you add so you can remove them easily. At this point, you might be thinking, is it really worth using bay leaves if the flavor is so subtle? The answer depends on how much you care about depth and balance in your cooking. If you want your food to taste richer and more complete, small details like this matter. Let's bring everything together. Bay leaves are not a flashy ingredient. They don't stand out on their own, and they're not meant to be eaten. But they play an important supporting role that helps other flavors shine. They work slowly, quietly, and effectively in the background. If you've been skipping bay leaves or throwing them away without thinking, now you know they're doing more than you realized. And if you've never really paid attention to them before, this might be the perfect time to experiment. If this video helped you understand bay leaves better, go ahead and hit like, subscribe to Consumer's Choice Top 5 for more useful kitchen insights, and share this with someone who loves to cook but might be overlooking this simple ingredient. Before you go, here's one last question. Now that you know what bay leaves actually do, will you start using them more carefully, or will you still treat them like an optional ingredient? Drop your answer in the comments below. Next time you're cooking a soup or stew and you reach for that bay leaf, remember, it may be the ingredient you throw away, but it's also the one quietly making everything taste better. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. Also, please check out our previous videos.